All right, good evening once again, and welcome to our Monday live market review. So it's the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to everyone, right? So let's jump into what's happening on the 4th of July. Ano nangyayari kay market on the 4th of July? All right, so jumping in on the chart now, starting off with our AUD USD. Yep, as always, we go for the major currencies first. So as expected, the pullback is now happening back to not just the resistance, actually na-break niya yung resistance kanina. So we're looking into really knowing if that resistance can hold now or baka eventually maging floor na siya. So earlier today, I was looking into the possibility of a bearish engulfing pero hindi nangyari yun. The price have went up. Alright? So ibig sabihin nun, I am now anticipating if the price can hold on or the trend line can hold on continuing the downtrend. Yun ang tinitingnan natin, no? The possibility of it going lower. So the price have broken through the resistance pero not necessarily an uptrend yet. So ito pa yung tinitingnan natin. Of course, the possibility of that uptrend continuation or yung completion niya for that formation, ang ibig sabihin is when the price stays above in this area. So ibig sabihin, dyan pa ako magko-consider ng buy later on. Right? So hanggat hindi pa siya confirmed, my bias is still for a sell. Hindi natin alam, after this 4-hourly bar, baka mag-correct na naman siya ulit mamaya. So tingnan natin. So my bias on AUD USD is still on a sell, not until that trend line will be invalidated na. Oops, sorry. Excuse me. Okay. One way to look at it is that I'm going to stretch this zone further. So ibig sabihin, if that can hold somewhere right there, then that's another confirmation for me that the price is likely to continue dun sa upward move niya. Okay, so abang-abang tayo dyan. Kahit pumunta ako sa 15-minute chart ngayon, though ang ganda ng crossover kanina, I was actually anticipating for a pullback before I go for that short-term sell, short-term buy. Pero nga hindi na talaga siya umabot doon. In fact, dumire-diretso na siya. So, right? So, ang inaabangan natin ngayon is two. Number one, will this downtrend hold? Right? Look at those waves that you see there confirming strong still momentum coming from the sellers. But then again, the current bar needs to, if not the current, the one after that, yung kasunod na bar will go and start a new move or swing going this direction para ma-confirm niya yung downtrend. At least itong switch in momentum na to kung tawagin. Right? So, pag hindi nangyari yan, din nakaabang tayo dun sa ating H1 for the invalidation ng downtrend na yon. Ibig sabihin, possible na siyang maging uptrend afterwards. Alright? So, yun ang nakaabang tayo. Dun tayo nakaabang, I mean. Alright? So, moving on to Euro USD. Alright? So, kung mapapansin nyo, this is coming off the floor level. Ayun na nga, may konting correction ng maliit na maliit lang doon after that, what you call this, that gap. Pero, the price is still moving up. Challenge lang is hindi niya pa talaga nabe-break itong dalawa. Yung EMA resistance, then you have your horizontal line resistance there as well. So, quick look, this is still a valid downtrend, of course. Pero hindi pa nga ako naka-long position dyan kasi bakit meron pa rin tayong something in the way there that could possibly cause the price to go down instead of go up. So, ibig sabihin, the bias is still to go short, right, on Euro US as soon as it hits the 1.0467 level as I have recently adjusted that from my end. Saan ang gagaling yan? Yeah, dito po. Okay? Dito siya. Actually, if you wish to, yeah, wala namang masama dyan. Na-adjust nyo yan ng konti, medyo dyan sa gitna para you can also see this touching right here. Right? In-adjust ko lang po ng konti yun, by the way, for me to see the touch on that one right there. So, kung pang-akyat yung ina-anticipate ko, so I'm getting a little bit conservative there, wanting to see if the price can really push yung full stretch ng resistance, right? So, ibig nga sabihin, kahit hanggang dito pa yan later on. So, titingnan ko kung if the price can really break through. This is the level where I'll be more interested on a long position more than a sell, right? So, in this case, if we can just go and stretch this a little bit, anticipating for, let's say, a possible sideways move, let me go back to H4. Kung ito na yung ina-anticipate natin, not necessarily like a beautiful pattern here on our stochastic oscillator as well. So ibig sabihin, I will not focus on it being sideways, but instead still on this downtrend right here, and the possibility of price being pushed much lower, right? Pero yun na nga, medyo mahina si dollar at the beginning, at naintindihan naman natin kasi it's a holiday. Right, though the dollar won't be open until like few minutes from now. Okay, so titingnan natin yan. And at the same time, from Euro and AUD USD earlier, there were several high impact news back to back to back to back to back, right? In fact, meron pa rin tayong inaabangan na high impact news for the rest of the evening. That is if you are looking into the Euro pairs. Okay, so tingnan na lang natin ito, right, as the price continues to move tonight. So my bias is still to go short. All right, possibly sabi ko nga, if that is broken, right? So the earliest that I'll be looking at will be H1 to validate kung na-break niya na yung resistance na yun, just like what's happening on AUD USD. Okay? So yun yung mga aabangan natin for the rest of the evening. Okay? So if you guys are looking into like checking news or whatnot, I strongly suggest for you again to check your charts too, right? Ibig sabihin po is, wag lang basta i-take si news as it is. Go and check price action as well if the market is agreeing to whatever the news is telling you or whatever you have read. Okay? So, ganun na nga. Moving on to GBP USD, I'm currently on the 15-minute chart after the price have gone back to the zone right here. So, kung mapapansin nyo ito, okay? As expected, the pullback is happening from what happened from Friday. Look at that. So, kung mapapansin nyo yan, Friday, then nagkakaroon tayo ng konting correction dyan. So, the area where I am looking at for a potential head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder pattern, ito na po yung nakikita natin dyan. So, I would expect for that price to continue that far. And from there, kung hindi niya man yan ma-break agad-agad, then magiging yun ang inaabangan natin na pattern na yan. So, ibig sabihin, from this area, I will go and sell, alright? And the price is likely to bounce off pag tinuloy-tuloy niya yung pattern na yon. Now, in this case, dahil hindi pa niya nabubuo yung tinatawag nating neckline, right? Stretch ko lang po siya ng konti dito. Okay? Alright? So, dahil hindi niya pa tinatamaan yung tinatawag nating neckline, so ibig sabihin, naka-anticipate pa rin ako for this move to happen. Now, in any case, this won't go in where I want to see it. Of course, if you notice, we are still looking on a downtrend or at a downtrend. Ibig sabihin, may possibilities pa rin for the price to go down. So, having that zone right there, let me know kung anong pa yung inaabangan ko. But if the price goes below that zone, ibig sabihin, balik ako dun sa bias ko for a sell. Right? If I go to a lower time frame like H1, ito na yung kanina, pag crossover ng EMA now, we're seeing the test now here. And let's see if it can push to that 1.2196 level para nga dun sa pattern na ina-anticipate ko. Okay? So, if that won't happen, that's totally fine. Alright? And, tawag dito, either way, meron tayong aabangan na trade dyan. Okay? NZD USD, now touching that floor level, or sorry, from Friday, now trying to break this descending triangle. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo itong floor level na to from Friday, I was anticipating for this to just stay here, right? Actually, ito na nga yung una nating attempt. Pero again, just like what happened on AUD USD, mapapansin nyo itong move na to is very identical to what AUD USD have done earlier. But then again, noticing that we have or we are still within this zone, the price was not just right as successful as it has broken the first level. Right? So, meaning nagkakaroon ng hesitation dito sa area na to. So, tingnan natin. If this can continue to stay above, right? Ibig sabihin, ito yung level na gusto ko siyang bantayan para mas mataas yung confidence ko to go for a buy. Right? Babantayan natin yan dyan. Alright? Pag hindi naman nangyari yan, that H4 chart is still not as strong as the first three currency pairs that we checked, but it can still be considered as a valid downtrend not until the price moves up there. So, hindi pa naman siya totally invalidated, pero comparing it to the first three currency pairs that we had earlier, right, mas weaker, right? Mas weaker or hindi na siya ganong ka-strong na downtrend, right? So, ibig sabihin, in scenarios like this, I would anticipate for this trend to be or to reverse very, very soon. Yun na yung aabangan ko dyan. Okay? Titingnan natin yan. Okay? Now, going for USD CAD, and USD CAD is really playing with this symmetrical triangle at a point. Yeah, the price have gone higher, pero ito na nga, bumabalik na naman siya dun sa pababa. But of course, knowing that the price is coming from that resistance or ceiling, then it is showing the possibility of price moving on that downward move. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, if you look at this on H4, inaabangan na lang natin dito na mag-form talaga yung beautiful downtrend niya na setup para makapaghanap na tayo ng sell position. Right? So yun yung aabangan natin. On H1, it's very, very close there. So if you want to get in a little early, right, a touch on the EMAs would be, if not the best, would be the ideal setup if you want to get early on the trade. All right. I would say that goes the same with the 15-minute chart. Okay. And for whatever reason you want to use an extra indicator for validation man siguro ng entry or ng direction, I strongly suggest for you to still focus more on the price action more than any other indicators, right? Because as always, sino ba ang kukumputin ni indicator kundi si price action pa rin naman, right? So I strongly suggest for you guys to still go back to the price action, study the price action further and understand it, right? Because indicators will go and compute the price action, the actual price action. So what's the trading plan for USD CAD? Okay, for our USD CAD right here, again, sabi ko nga, gusto ko makita yung mabuo yung downtrend niya dito, because this time, if this will stay below and that swing happens, okay, go tayo. Dito may little hesitation kasi yung pinaka start ng swing niya is within the symmetrical triangle, right? But this time, if this one goes back, at least there, mas malaki yung room natin for selling. Okay? So tingnan natin how it goes for the rest of the evening or for the rest of the week. Yeah. Now, jumping onto USD CHF, which is now breaking through that ceiling right there. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo, nagkaroon tayo ng maliit na consolidation dito after that big sideways. Almost identical to what happened here. Right? Crossing May to June. Right? So, ibig sabihin, ito naman, from the end of June towards July, medyo nagkakaroon tayo ng consolidation dyan. Tingnan natin if ito naman yung may experience natin. Right? If that sideways move will continue. So looking at our stochastic oscillator right here, medyo ito in the move na. Ibig sabihin, hindi natin masyadong nakikita yung pressure that is what the stochastic oscillator is showing. So ibig sabihin, there's a very good chance that this move can be a little slower compared to what happened in the past. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo, this one went on to like this level, right? The indicator is already halfway but the price action is not. So, ibig sabihin, nauubos yung strength ni buyers dito sa area na to. So, tingnan natin how this can play out. But, of course, our H4 chart is already forming that beautiful uptrend right there. In fact, kaka-trigger lang nung short-term 4-hour trade right there. Ibig sabihin, if we are interested to get in on this one, which I am, right? So, tingnan nga natin how we can go about this. This is a beautiful breakout that we are now seeing. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let's go. Oops. Just give me 1 second po, ha. Tingnan natin. Or should I go on this one? No, I want to go for that H4 chart. Tingnan natin if that price can go. Alright. So let's be conservative on this one. Tingnan natin if the price can really break through. Okay, so entry price will be 0.96. I'll go for 0.79. 9609. Tasa natin ako. Tingnan natin if the price can really go. And if it will not go, 0.9556 will be our stop loss. Then take profit for a 1:1 will be 0.96. 55, right? Tapos, we're on the 4-hourly chart. 1600 will be our expiry. Ayan. Okay? And we'll set the order right there. Oops, sorry. Sabi ni market, hindi na pwede ang pending order kasi the price is already touching. Yeah. So, yun na nga. Gumalaw na. Pag-click natin, gumalaw na siya. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, this is an example of a market execution, right? So tingnan natin dyan. If this goes in our favor, happy days. Kung hindi naman, we have our stop loss there telling us that the price is likely to go back there and test that level. So ibig sabihin from here, we're going for that buy order. So we are in on that trade, covering the spread first. Tingnan natin if this one moves in our favor, right? So that's a minimum trade right there for the breakout on USD CHF. Okay? So if that price will go, then pull back again, then possibly we are looking at a continuation of that. Ibig sabihin, nabali na yung or na-break na yung consolidation na nangyayari dito. Tingnan natin if the price can now push higher, right? Moving on to USD JPY. USD JPY still in this area. Okay, we had a short-term buy earlier there from here. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo na, umabot na siya sa ceiling kaya hindi pa ako pumapasok ulit. Right, so tingnan natin if this price breaks out. I'm on the 4-hourly chart. So if you go to your line chart, by the way, so dito ko lang po kayo nakuha yung area na yan. Okay, so I want to see if the market can go from here towards the next resistance right there, or I would say if it would stay within this zone. So ibig sabihin, if this is broken, malamang makikita natin yung price to move that high. Pag hindi naman, then we'd love to go for a sell and buy and sell and buy until this levels right here will be broken. Okay, so kagaya ng nangyari nga kanina, we were buying somewhere in this area. Okay, so tingnan natin if that goes in our favor. Pag hindi naman, then right, magre-reassess lang tayo ng position natin. Okay, D1 is still showing us a very, very strong uptrend right there, I would say. Pero nga, dahil there's something in our way and we cannot just go and hit the buy button to, just for the fun of it. We want to see if the price can really break a significant level of support or resistance. So, gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, we are on a buy on that early time frame, pero right, look at that price struggling to break through. So, ibig sabihin, if this can really go there, the earliest I would go is for the 1-hourly chart, then towards the next level, right? Then your 15 minutes on your USD JPY now, the EMAs, I mean, have now crossed. But then again, we're very, very close to the resistance. So, if you're scalping for a pip or two, then yeah, go for it. Pero kung hindi naman, then just wait for the breakout, or if not, anticipate for a reversal from that ceiling. Okay, so that's my take on USD JPY. Okay, so very quickly, we still have time. Let's go and check our Euro crosses right there. Okay, so tingnan natin yan. Euro crosses, starting off with Euro CAD. Price is still on that floor level, right? If you notice, I have two lines there anticipating if the price go up there, these are the resistance that the market would possibly be testing before really breaking through, or probably reverse. Diyan natin sila abangan. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Just looking at historical data, we're seeing that the price is really respecting these levels right here. So ibig sabihin, there's a higher probability for this price to go. But then again, we do not discount the fact that the price can also break lower. Okay, so ibig sabihin nito, nakaabang tayo dito for a confirmation of the entry price. And we don't have any entry price level here. I always go for the previous bar, pero the previous bar there, if this is my entry, medyo malayo pa tayo, right? Or halfway na nga actually nung takbo. So we want we want an entry na malapit sa floor level. So let's go on H4. Okay, this one's not really touching the floor level yet. So tingnan natin kung kaya niya pang bumaba and test that. And if we want to be a little conservative here, ito nga yung area na yon. Okay. So medyo malapit-lapit na rin naman pala siya. So tingnan natin if the price can really go for that. I would say, this is, pwede rin naman sa 70 level. If you are in for the stochastic oscillator, then yes, ang inaabangan na lang natin dyan will be a little bit of a crossover here that would give us additional confirmation there that this sideways move is likely to happen, bouncing off from the floor. Right? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Sideways scan. Yung galing dun sa D1 na nakita natin. Now, again, just to remind everyone, we are not trading based on the EMA. So, for visualization, pwede nyo nang tanggalin siya sa daily, right? Then click OK, then visualization, tanggalin ulit sa daily para hindi kayo nalilito. So, in this case, I'm just trading based off the bounce. right? Or bounce off the resistance. Yun lang po yung inaabangan ko dito sa area na to. Okay? So in that case, that's our take for Euro CAD. Next will be Euro GBP, which is still, ang pinapakita niya sa atin is a very, very strong ascending triangle here. So, abang tayo sa area na to pag na-break na. Okay? So, kanina umaga, wala masyado siyang action dyan. So, umakit lang ng konti pero bumaba. Pero, for me, the best way to go and trade this is to wait for the breakout of this ascending triangle. Right? And I would anticipate or expect for that price to break through that direction. Again, without discounting the fact that it can still break dun sa lower level. Alright? Okay, so o yung diagonal support natin. Ang ibig lang sabihin niyan, if we can find probably, let's say, the most familiar pattern that you might be looking for will be a pin bar, right? So ibig sabihin, parang ganito. Oops, ano to? May napipindot ko. Right? So parang ganito. Yeah, pwede rin nating tawagin siyang hammer, right? And we anticipate for the price to go right there. So but yung kung opposite naman ang nakikita natin, right? The price can go in that direction. So probably we'll be looking for a sell, right? So in this case, I don't want to be involved in anything Euro GBP has to offer, not until it shows that opportunity above and or below, yeah, of those lines that I have drawn so far, right? Okay, so in that case, moving on to to a different currency pair, which also looks the same. Our Euro AUD is looking like this now still. Oops, baba natin ito ng konti para hindi kayo malito. Right, so the uptrend is now being tested by these two horizontal lines as the ceiling. So obviously we have seen that rejection from earlier today. Look at that drop from earlier today. So ibig sabihin that resistance is really holding after spiking Friday. Ngayon bumabalik siya dun sa trend line floor natin. Okay, so pag yan nag-hold, this is still a reasonable, I would say, 100 pipper move, right? From the trend line towards the next resistance. So ibig sabihin, if this price can really go back to the trend line, then buy again, pwede pa rin tayo. Okay? Now, if you are buying off the touch of the EMA, oops, sorry, wrong button. On the daily chart, that is, kung dito kayo nakatingin, and you just like follow the bounce of the EMA, then though, yes, that's still a decent move there. Again, just don't be too complacent disregarding the resistance. Yun lagi nagkakaroon tayo ng problema dyan sa mga trades natin. Kadalasan, we are buying near or very, very close a resistance where the price is likely to reverse, or the floor, we're selling there and the price have reversed going up naman. So, be extra careful. My suggestion there is always check the support or resistance on a higher time frame. Like if you want to check or trade D1, check nyo lang si weekly if you want to. In most cases, though, D1 would have a very comprehensive analysis, or will give you a very comprehensive analysis already, or view of the chart. Okay? If you're trading H4, then silip lang kayo ng konti sa D1, then validate nyo yung level sa H4, parang ganun. Right? An extra look on a much higher time frame will not hurt, right? At least you're more confident on taking that trade. Okay? Yun lang po yung suggestion ko. Now, next will be Euro NZD, which is looking the same way as well. Let me just adjust this a little bit, right? So, nagiging ganun din siya. So, mapapansin nyo, lahat ng Euro pair so far, right? Bukod kay Euro CAD is becoming an ascending triangle. Right? So, ibig sabihin, si Euro CAD lang yung nagfa-fight back, kumbaga. Okay? So, touching on this level right now, still a decent 140-ish pips if you are taking a buy, right? That is, yung kung gusto yun ang gusto nyong i-take advantage. But on H4, you won't be trading particular on the EMAs because the EMAs is just very noisy. Okay? H1, definitely not because it's a downtrend. So, but then again, if you're looking to go and sell on this downtrend, you have your diagonal support level there. So, be careful of extending your take profit much lower than this level right here. Okay? So, watch out lang kayo dyan banda sa area na yan. Okay? But for me, I'd like to see the bounce, then I would go for that long position to see that ascending triangle to materialize. Okay? Euro CHF, on the other hand, right? On D1, it's a downtrend, but testing the floor level that we have drawn here, by the way. Huwag lang po kayong malito dun sa mga lines na dinawin ko kasi masyadong malayo na yan eh. Kaya hindi ko siya dinidelete, right? So it has been a while since the price have touched that level. Or these levels below, I mean. Kaya, yan. I've kept those two lines. But the recent one has been tested back in March. So we are now back to this level. Let's see if this floor can really hold on to that price level again. And if not, then probably in, let's say, 2015, right? So 7 years in the making, right? Bago tayo maka-experience ng drop on the 98.74 or maybe 97.35 again. So if this current floor level will hold, which I would anticipate for it to do so, okay? Looking at RSI, it has touched the 30% oversold level, right? And if we want some little validation from stochastic oscillator, the same thing is showing us ito na, right? So ibig sabihin there's a possibility of this price to go and move higher this time, okay? For short-term periods like H4, the EMAs have not crossed over yet, but one thing is for sure, that pin bar right there have confirmed your buy if you're not trading based on the EMAs, okay? H1 have crossed already. So if you're trying to chase that move, I discourage you from chasing trades. Like look into that short-term resistance as well, or intraday support or resistance for test. Yeah, ano ibig sabihin nun? Like literal testing the ceiling or the floor. If you're inside the building, tinetest nyo yung strength nung area na yon, if it can really hold or not. So parang ganun, right? So now it is testing that intraday level. So tingnan natin if it will break through. If not, then a pullback will be reasonable to be checked first. Tapos kukuha ng buwelo to break out of that intraday high, right? So tingnan natin. Or sorry, 1 hourly high, right? Checking on this area lang naman, right? So parang nagiging intraday pa rin, right? So with that being said, even on the 15-minute chart, isa din yun sa abangan natin. Yun lang din naman magiging sort of like an intraday high niya. Kasi technically, this is like today's high. Kung titingnan lang din natin, the last trading day will be our basis for the next ceiling or resistance that the price is likely to break. Okay? So we were on Euro USD earlier, right? And this gives us a little bit more time pa, yeah, to look into the yen pairs, right? Very quickly lang on AUD JPY, look at that downtrend going for that pullback. Ang ibig ko sabihin is this price coming from this resistance. Yan, at nakikitaan natin siya ng potential downtrend, and but of course, yeah, after that drop from Friday, that correction right there is very visible for us. So a pullback has now been visible, right? Visible na siya sa ating chart. So tingnan natin how this downtrend can continue. If you look at the bigger picture, definitely have much bigger room for the price to go much lower, right? And kaka-crossover nga lang yan. So tingnan natin if it can really continue. So my bias on AUD JPY would be a sell. Let's see how the price can continue from there. Right? Euro JPY, tingnan natin, right? That little sideways has now been broken, right? Especially by that move from Friday. Ngayon, tinetest niya na naman yung level na yan. So, beautiful, beautiful bearish engulfing potential right there, right? So, kung hindi masyado, I would doubt that this will still go. So, ibig sabihin, if a new bar will be generated here, this beautiful 3-bar pattern will be my confirmation for that sell. Beautiful downtrend there. And tingnan natin kung the sellers can really push the price lower. And if they can, then us retail traders will be there to catch that move as well. So bias on 2 yen pairs are sell. NZD JPY, looking at the bigger picture.
It's time for bed.
Thanks, Alexa. Right? NZD JPY have tested the floor. So still looking at this one, it could possibly be still a sideways market. Let's validate that by using stochastic oscillator. So for me, at least, that's where I'm looking at. There you go. Price is touching our 20% oversold level. So tingnan natin if the market can really follow this sideways move right here, pointing that direction. Okay? So ibig sabihin, just like what I've mentioned earlier, it won't be mostly trading on the EMA. Yeah? Kasi ito na yung sideways na yan. Right? The reason why I set that trend line right there is for you to see that yes, we are seeing a downtrend, but unlike the first currency pairs or yen pairs that we checked, it's a little bit far from the floor. So ibig sabihin, medyo malayo-layo pa yung pwede nating i-sell doon kung sakasakaling yun man yung decision natin. But this one already have bounced off that floor level. So a breakout of this trend is anticipated, and at the same time a continuation of this bigger sideways move is what we are likely to see kung yun man yung mangyari, right? Okay, so okay, it's 9 o'clock already. Anyway, we still have 3 more. Bigla tingnan na lang natin very quickly as well, right? So there you go. The symmetrical triangle is still visible on our GBP JPY. Okay, look at that. Still indecision here, so I don't want to do anything with the pound yen, right? So very quickly we can move to Swiss yen, which is again testing our 27.2 extension right there, where I was anticipating for it to really touch the 61.8. So pag hindi talaga kinaya yan, ibig sabihin we are now to see a pullback already. But unang tingin, I think we're touching the 38.2 already. Tingnan ko lang very quickly lang po. Oh yeah, it did touch the 38.2 already. So it could be an early retracement. We are on a level where it could possibly start a new swing right there. So watch out for the guys who are already looking for a long-term sell. Watch out for that level right there. Tingnan natin if it can continue, right? That price level would be, tingnan nga natin ito. That 38.2 is, ano ba yan? Hindi na si say. Dali nga. Ayan. Sorry. Wrong fib. Ayun na. So that is 140.65. Okay? And yes, do not look at this one. Okay? Ito na nga po. Possible na yun ma-expect natin. Pero pag hindi, sabi ko nga kanina, that could possibly go on the other side, which is a 38.2 fib retracement level, right? So, going back, Swiss yen, I will look for a sell if it breaks the 140.65, right? If not, then possibly hanap tayo ng buy dyan. It is a beautiful 200 pipper to 300 pips move from these areas right here. So, reasonable na talagang abangan natin if the price can move in our favor, right? And last but not the least of the yen pairs, right? Let's see what is CAD JPY doing. We were looking into a possible buy right here, and that move is really looking good, right? Though not on H4, possibly on H1. Tingnan natin. Ito na nga, ito na yung crossover na inaabangan ko, right? For that uptrend on D1. Tingnan natin kung kaya niyang bumalik doon sa resistance na yan. So, abangan natin si H1, right? And possible 15 minutes after this pullback right here. Tingnan natin if that bounce can move in our favor. Okay? So, yep. Those are the currency pairs that I have on my list at the beginning of the week. If you have something in your mind, let me know, right? Or if there are other things that you want to clarify about the analysis, let me know as well. I really love to hear it from you, right? Either on the comment section, and as always, yeah, directly on my or to my Facebook account. Doon kayo madalas mag-chat. At kung gagawin nyo nga po yun, reminder ko lang po, right, sa lahat is pakisabayan na rin po ng screenshot para mas mabilis ko po masagot yung tanong ninyo. Okay? All right, so that's it for me. And again, thank you for being with me on a Monday. And we'll go and revisit the charts on Wednesday. Charts up at 8:30. So you guys have a wonderful evening ahead of you. Happy trading. And a reminder, everything that we have discussed tonight is purely for educational purposes only. And please do not take it as an investment advice. You guys have a wonderful evening. And cheers, everyone. Bye for now.